BBC Radio London.
That's right, BBC Radio London. It's your boy LionHeart. Shouts out to everyone who is texting me on this show tonight, as well as those giving me a phone call. You know, I got a text in there, a long, lengthy text, right, from Calm Carl. I want to thank you for sending me that long text. I'm going to read that when I get a chance, Carl. But obviously, you know, I'm here talking to you, keeping you company until the late hours of 1 a.m. tonight on BBC Radio London's The Late Show. Now, you know, while some people have been, you know, in lockdown, down, upset, disappointed, or just using it as an excuse to reset and pause, our next guest, LEA KAY, has done the opposite, right? And it's a full steam ahead with her creativity and approach to making sure she can be productive during this time. Now, her new single, The More I Learn, is a feel-good and upbeat, and it features on her upcoming EP, which I actually love the title of this. It's actually called The Abundance Project, and it joins me, and so she joins me tonight to really talk about, you know, how she has kept herself creative during this time to still release music when many other, you know, artists have found it absolutely difficult. So please join me giving a huge round of applause for the one and only LEA KAY.
Hi. Hello.
Hey, you're starting with giggles and laughter. I really love when people, you know, bring great energy here on BBC Radio London's The Show. You know, what's got you so happy?
I guess speaking to you, I was very much looking forward to speaking to you and to be exposed to your beautiful audience tonight. It's great. Thank you.
Well, listen, me, you, and our radio familia right now who are eavesdropping almost into this brilliant conversation. We love artists, we love creative people, and we love people that's really honest and open and genuine. And this is what I kind of want from you tonight, Leah, right? If you don't mind me calling you Leah, is that all right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yes, please go for it.
So, I'm a creative, okay? I'm a poet. I'm someone who absolutely adores seeing people stay creative during a time where it's very easy and also understandable. You know, I'm not going to paint a bad picture on the people who need to find time to relax and calm down their nerves, you know, regarding always being productive, especially in this world of social media that is absolutely, you know, demanding the most of our attention. Yeah. So how have you managed, you know, to keep creative during lockdown?
I think, you know, it depends how you define creativity. I think for me, creativity is a self-expression, and you can't separate the two. For me, if I need to self-express, I create. So if I go through something, if I go through, you know, an experience as challenging as lockdown, what I will do with it is go into art and create, write, make sounds, sing. So this is precisely how I managed to stay creative. And if anything, you see, a lot of people have found it very challenging to have this much to have all this space with themselves. But I'm the type of person that takes care of, you know, regular meditation and self-care, which meant that, you know, when all of this started, I was just okay to be in my own space because I've been doing that for quite some time. So being faced with silence and with nowhere to go didn't scare me. It's quite the opposite. It gave me the space to create.
I'm so glad that you shared that. Honestly, I'm absolutely enthralled by that statement. It reminds me, do you know Kevin Hart, the American comedian? Absolutely, you know, legendary. He was in a car accident, I believe, sometime last year or early last year. And his doctor said to him, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that you spent ample amounts of time exercising and working on your core, that accident that you were in, you know, would have put you in such a bad space, you know, that maybe you wouldn't have been able to heal from or recover from. And similar to you, you know, focusing on your meditation, you developed habits, you developed certain attitudes and perspectives to put things into place so that when a bad situation occurs, such as COVID and the pandemic, you've used that foundation to still anchor yourself in producing and being in a healthy space. That's absolutely great. That's one of the tips and tools I'm going to recommend people to have. You know, it's not just about, you know, waiting for something bad to happen to then start. You know, sometimes the prevention is better than the cure. So I really, really thank you for that. So who are your music inspirations? You know, you have a heritage of being, you know, Polish born but London based. Who are your inspirations when it comes to music?
You know, I think singing-wise, it's always been Whitney Houston. She is the absolute biggest legend of mine. But other than that, you know, when I think of producing and writing, the way I work with my producer and partner, Pilo Adami, We are mostly influenced by actually the London-based artists such as Mary Dahlstrom or LionHeart, Tom Misch, LEA KAY. And actually, another big influence of mine is a beautiful American artist called Her, and I just adore her. She's just wonderful. So she's been a bit sort of a very big influence for my previous single, which came out in January, called Move In, and it's got that kind of pulsating, strong bass that is strongly derived from her music and from her album.
So when you listen to artists, all right, now I'm quite competitive, I almost compete with people who aren't even in poetry or, I compete with athletes, I compete with entrepreneurs because they motivate me to be a better version of myself. When you listen to Whitney Houston or you listen to Her or Ella May, etc., what is it about them that inspires you? And I ask this for I guess the creatives out there or the aspiring creatives who almost feel overwhelmed and intimidated by those people who have reached such a high level of craftsmanship that it makes them feel like, oh, I can't do that. There's no point me trying.
I think what inspires me in artists I listen to is, of course, their craftsmanship, but it's also the personality behind it. It's the story. It's the strength that drives them forward, and it's what makes them special. And I think that's why I don't get intimidated by people who are more talented, perhaps, or more skilled than I am, because I know that my strength lies in something they might not have, such as their strength lies in something I don't have. So we can't really compare each other. Of course, I've been training to be a singer and to be a musician my whole life, but I think there comes a point that you can learn so much, but then you have to bring that factor X of what makes you the special person that cannot be competed with.
That is a powerful statement. You're almost someone who sounds like a motivational speaker, and I'm absolutely here for it. If you ever do a TED Talk, make sure you sign me up to witness that. For those of you joining me right now, I'm joined by the incredible LEA KAY, who is a singer and songwriter who's heralded from, Poland, but also, based here in London and sharing these great inspirations that she has, but also these, I would like to call them brain hacks, to still keep active and productive. And you've spoken about meditation. You've spoken about, different behavioral patterns. But you sound like you're just so grateful for life. You really do. And with a project titled The Abundance Project, what is it right now that you're grateful for?
I'm just grateful to have what I have. I lived in the future most of my life, just because I have this big dream of being someone who has a voice, someone who can speak to people, who people follow. And I always lived by this dream, living in the future. And I started to understand that, right now, right here, everything is so perfect and so abundant and so overflowing and so ideal that, the pandemic, sort of influenced me to create this title for this album, which I was creating during the pandemic. It was just simply understanding that I've been looking for things, the answers, the happiness, fulfillment outside of myself. Well, it was all the time in me. It's just a matter of bringing it out that creates the abundance that now I surround myself with.
But that's easy to say, Leah. I hate to be the antagonist here, but no, honestly, I generally I don't like being the antagonist because sometimes I can come across as insensitive, right? But that's your viewpoint. That's something that you've experienced. But
absolutely,
it's not that way for everyone. What would you say to people who disagree with you?
Very good question. What would I say to people who disagree with me? That perhaps, I guess there is a choice. You can choose to live the life that others create for you, or you can choose to live a life you create for yourself. And you truly are so powerful in creating circumstances for yourself, creating opportunities. Take, for example, this interview. I'm an independent artist. I don't have a manager. I don't have a label. And here I am. Through all the artists who might have reached out to you, you picked out me. It's not a coincidence. It's a blessing I created for myself through working hard, through doing the research, through being interested in how I can reach people such as yourself to have this wonderful conversation.
And you know what I will say?
Definitely.
I'm gonna echo that and just have to give you a round of applause there, because you know what? No, genuinely, and I still consider myself an aspiring artist. You know, there's always this
Mm,
destination that we want to attain, that we want to reach, that we want to acquire, and there are so many hurdles and mountains and moments of adversity that almost stop us from reaching out to someone, that stop us from sending an
mm,
email, from just making an opportunity happen or pitching an idea. But to know that you are one of those, aspiring, very warm-hearted and polite individuals who will still reach out to people they may or may not know to see if things can
mhm.
happen and develop, that it really is a positive mindset that I want to share with people. And the moment I ever, start to mentor again, I'm going to remind the mentees that I have to almost mimic and imitate you in that regard, because there are some, you'd be surprised how many people slide in my DMs, right, or email me, tweet, like there is so much attention that wants to
Yeah.
be taken. But with what you've almost offered us on this show is that you've added value to not just me, but my radio familia. And I think that's absolutely important. I've got a tweet in here from Lulu. Hey, Lulu. Lulu has said, it is better to live the life that we create, and it is a blessing. Art is creation and helps our mind. And that's thanks to you, Leah Kay.
Mm,
All right. I really, really want to
mm.
appreciate you there for sharing that, Mark. Listen, I want to play your song before we go on any further, right? Stay on the line, but do me the favor if you can, all right? Please introduce the song The More I Learn here for us on BBC Radio London.
Thank you. You are now listening to The More I Learn by myself, LEA KAY, featuring Nick Richards.
I'm so indecisive. Oh, I'm easily swayed. Oh, once or twice I followed someone else's steps. Yeah, I'll get to where I need to, and I'll be there on time. Oh, I don't wanna rush the sun coming down. No, I don't wanna rush my heart. The more I learn, the more I understand that lessons never end. Oh, once I felt I worked through it, then I stumble right back into it. Oh, life keeps spinning me in circles. I'm tired of that chase. I might as well surrender with grace.
Chasing these trophies, yeah, you know that won't do. Walk through this life with grace and let your soul shine through. All these times you followed in somebody else's path. All these dreams that you've been thinking of. Take your time, carve into life, no matter what. Choose your life, fail is fine. Get up and try again. And try again.
The more I learn, the more I understand that lessons never end. Once I felt I worked through it, then I stumble right back into it. Oh, life keeps spinning me in circles. I'm tired of that chase. I might as well surrender with grace.
There you go. LEA KAY there featuring Nick Richards, The More I Learn. There's a part of me that just wants to play that over and over again. I was just saying to my producer, right, what a vibe. We are nodding our heads right now in unison. What an absolute vibe. LEA KAY, thank you so much for creating that kind of music. And you made that in a pandemic. What? How dare you be so creative and positive at a time when most of us can't even scrape crumbs of positivity, and you're doing it in such a way that just reminds me of like sunshine, the kind of sodas that you drink in the States, the sweet ones. Oh man, you're really bringing me to the memories I want to have in the future. And I guess this is why you say you live in the future. You bring us to a place we are yet to go to. And that song there, oh my goodness. The more I learn about you and your music, the more I'm going to appreciate you. I'm telling you that. Listen, talk to me. What is next for you, right? You speak about, being an aspiring singer-songwriter. What is next for you? You've got inspirations like Whitney Houston. What do you see yourself doing in the next couple of months to years?
Well, I'll be releasing my full EP very soon, sort of scheduled to come out in June. So that's going to be very exciting, and I'm hoping to promote it and grow through it and, allow myself to build stronger relationships with my audience. And I'm hoping, if the gigs come back, I'd love to play live. I just miss being able to perform in front of people. So that would be wonderful.
So who would you want to collaborate with live on stage? If you had one person that you could choose, all right, who would it be and why?
Alicia Keys.
Wait, but you didn't even say Alicia Keys' names in those inspirations. When I asked you, it was like her, Whitney Houston, Ella May. Like, where did Alicia Keys come from?
Right? So confusing. I'm full of surprises.
You are.
The Alicia Keys is because there is something. It's almost like that you have a good energy with someone when you listen to them. You know that you can like really vibe with someone in a beautiful, positive way. Alicia Keys is that to me. She's the type of person that I know if I went to a studio with and we were to write a song, it would just come out. It would just naturally come out.
I'm going to tell you this, right, LEA KAY. Have you been on Netflix? She's got an episode called, I think it's Songwriter or Song Loader, and she goes through...
Yes.
Have you seen it with Sampha?
I did, yes.
Now,
such a beautiful episode.
And that fully echoes that sentiment, that she has this spirit of honesty, of authenticity. Like, the way they broke down why they wanted this song to sound and the lyrics to be a certain way, absolutely sublime. So I can see that connection. I would love one day, if that happens, you make sure you call your boy, all right, and come back on BBC Radio London. We'd love to hear how that happened with you and Alicia Keys in the studio, Listen, before I let you go, my friend, all right, yes, your project is up and coming and it's out soon, the Abundance Project. Where can people get their hands on it?
Instagram and Facebook. You can find me on LEA KAY .official on Facebook, and LEA KAY, the lower sort of lowercase official, and on Spotify, SoundCloud, Bandcamp. You can stream my music anywhere.
Hey, there you go. Listen, you're an absolute star. Thank you for joining us, and I can't wait to see that collaboration one day with you and Alicia Keys. You keep going, my friend, and stay positive. Stay that optimistic person. I can't wait to see who you grow into be in the future.
Thank you, my beautiful. Thank you so much.